Before we get started, hey there, I'm Jason Linett, and maybe you've heard me say this before. The more we're all successful, the more we're all successful. And the one thing that will grow our hypnosis profession better than anything else is to have more of you out there helping your own clients and thriving in your own hypnosis businesses. That's why I'm inviting you to join our private community, exclusively for listeners of the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast. We have several thousand members in the group, and this is where recent guests of the program share additional resources related to their episode. It's a positive community with hypnotic professionals from all around the world, so it's a great place to get your questions answered. And as a benefit, as soon as you join, I'm going to share with you the best of the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast archives. And listen to this. It's absolutely free to join. Go to this website, group.worksmarthypnosis.com. Go there right now, answer a few quick questions, and I'll personally be there to welcome you into this helpful community. Be sure to join today. That website is group.worksmarthypnosis.com. As soon as we connect, I'm going to ask you some questions so that I can have a clear understanding of exactly what you'd like to achieve. Then from there, I'll explain exactly what I do, how it works, and why it works so quickly to help you to make this change. And then, only if I'm confident that I can help you out, I'll explain exactly how you can get started. Hypnosis helps people take back control of their lives. But here's the thing. Too many hypnotists struggle to get consistent results with their clients or grow their hypnosis businesses. I'm Jason Linett, and after more than 2 decades of building a thriving hypnosis practice, I created this podcast to help you do the same. Whether you're just starting your hypnosis journey or if you're ready to scale your business to the next level, you're exactly where you need to be. Welcome to Work Smart Hypnosis. There are 2 problems that many of you in the hypnosis industry are running into. Problem number 1 is that not enough people are booking your services. I'm about to share with you the exact strategy that I use that helps to solve that problem. The second problem that you're running into, though, is that for those of us that do consultations, somebody books into one, and then the conversation, it completely derails, and you end up speaking to them for like twice the amount of time or even longer than what was expected, and then, as a result of that, they end up not even becoming your client. Well, again, we're about to solve that problem too. This is the Make It Rain Monday edition of the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast. On these Monday shows, I come on and I give you actionable strategies that you can put into use right away inside of your business. And the strategy I'm about to share with you is called the double 3-act formula. It's a 3-step process that you end up doing twice, and in a moment, I'm about to walk you through it exactly as how to use it step by step. Now, in advance, I want you to know there's a resource you can grab absolutely for free by going to the show notes for this week's episode. This is episode number 460, so go to worksmarthypnosis.com/460. When you go there, it'll bring you to the show notes at the Work Smart Hypnosis website, and you're going to see a button that says Get the Resource. And if you click that, that's going to give you access to download my 3-act cheat sheet. The formula, double 3-act structure, I've created a 1-page version of this that you can print out, you can have somewhere visible. This way, whenever you're creating content for your business, or even when you're on that consult, you can use the cheat sheet that I created for myself inside of your business. Now, before we dive into the actual strategy here, let me give you a little bit of the inner workings of the psychology behind this. First of all, it comes around to a principle of just creating a specific deliverable outcome whenever you make any kind of offer, invitation, sales pitch, whatever words you want to use, they're all basically the same thing. And I'll give you the easiest example of this by giving a comparison. Here's a very weak call to action. It would be, hey, if you've got questions, book a call. Hey, if you want to chat, book a call. You're not giving them a specific outcome. Now, what you're about to hear me do instead, yes, I'll admit, is more words. It has you saying more stuff. However, part of the whole attract pre-sold clients, pre-sold psychology that I talk about of having your audience mentally rehearsing saying yes to you, even before you make the offer, part of that involves you road mapping the journey in a better way so that now They're not necessarily deciding as to, yes, I'll do this or no, I won't. It's instead, they're already mentally rehearsing the next step even before they take it. So quick example of this, you're going to hear more detail of this here in a moment. Rather than if you've got questions, book a call. Instead, here's an example, let's say for a stop smoking client. If you'd like to get a customized plan to finally throw out those cigarettes and move on with your life, that's why I've opened up my time so we can create that custom plan together. Book a call. I look forward to speaking and working with you soon. Do you hear the difference? And yes, I know it's more words. However, what did I do? I walked you through the step-by-step of not only what the next step is, but also why it's there, but more importantly, what is going to happen. As they're connecting that what's going to happen to the next step, they're more likely to then take that. And one final quick thing, for those of you that have ever been hesitant or timid or just downright afraid of inviting someone to then take the next step, we're going to solve that problem for you inside of this strategy. So again, the show notes are over at worksmarthypnosis.com/460. And hey, did you notice something, by the way? The episode title this week is Say This to Book Consults and Get Paid, because that title is about you. And instead, if I really went with my first draft of the title of this week's episode and called it episode number 460, the double 3-act structure, the double 3-act formula, I go back and forth between the names. Well, that's about me, and you don't yet know what's important about that. So isn't that interesting? I changed the title of this episode to speak to your needs and your desires rather than what I thought was important to me. Think about that for a moment. Let that marinate for the next few days. And again, go over to worksmarthypnosis.com/460, download my 3-act cheat sheet. It's going to make it a whole lot easier for you to implement this exact method. So let's dive in. This is session number 460. Say this to book consults and... Has your hypnosis client ever said this to you? I felt relaxed, but I don't know if I was hypnotized. If you've heard that before, it means that one of the most critical elements was missing from your hypnosis session. You might have done every hypnosis technique and every hypnotherapy method correctly, but you've accidentally sabotaged your chances of your client getting their desired result. Here's the good news. It's an easy problem to fix. Check out this website, power.worksmarthypnosis.com. This is where you can get instant access to my Hypnotic Phenomenon Power Pack featuring the Hypnotize with Conviction program. It's a foolproof system to reliably create magical moments of hypnotic phenomenon with all of your clients, whether you see them in person or even online. What this does for you is help to build greater conviction that the desired change is already in motion. And even better, it means that your client will be able to actually feel the change taking place. How cool is that? It's these types of magical moments that helped my clients to become the people who sent me referrals and left me 5-star reviews. And I'm inviting you to grab this low-cost method that you can learn today and put to use with your next client. So go to power.worksmarthypnosis.com. Get paid. The double 3-act formula. What is it? Well, I'm just going to do it for you right now to lay the foundation for this, and we're going to break down the psychology and why it is a double 3-act formula. Because as soon as we connect, I'm going to ask you some questions so that I can have a clear understanding of exactly what you'd like to achieve. Then from there, I'll explain exactly what I do, how it works, and why it works so quickly to help you to make this change. And then, only if I'm confident that I can help you out, I'll explain exactly how you can get started. I look forward to speaking and working with you soon. There we go. Those are the 3 steps. This is the double 3-act formula. So the 3 parts of it are the 3 phrases that I just said. Part 1, as soon as we connect, I'll ask you some questions so that I can have a clear understanding of exactly what you'd like to achieve. The second part, I'll then explain exactly what I do, how it works, and why it works so quickly to help you to make this change. And the third part, and then, only if I'm confident that I can help you out, I'll explain exactly how you can get started. And once again, go to worksmarthypnosis.com/460. I've put a downloadable cheat sheet of this method so you can have it in front of you. So let me now pull back and walk you through the entire formula. The double 3-act formula. The 3 acts are the 3 phrases that I just said, but it's the double 3-act formula. This is what makes it work. Part 1, so double, we're going to do the same thing twice. Part 1, in your front-facing promotional content, in the stuff that you create for people to discover your hypnosis business and find out about what you do. And seriously, people, don't overthink this, by the way. Notice that I'm just going to say the word content from now on. So what could that include? It could be video. It could be you going to a location and giving a talk. It could be blogging. It could be stuff on your website. It could be things in your emails, your social media. All of it is content. All of it works. And anywhere you do any sort of presentation or share knowledge of what you do, just from this point forward in this dialogue of this podcast, I'm just going to refer to it as content. Don't overthink it. But it's that this is going to be the consistent call to action that I give. So whatever the content may be, I'm sharing something, I'm teaching something, I'm telling a story, I'm sharing value in some format. There's then going to be a moment where I'm going to make a transition and then give the audience the invitation to then take the next step. So double 3-act formula, the first part of the double is the call to action that you give in your content. What works about this is it creates incredible clarity, and even better, here's some bonus features. Let me walk you through some of the deeper psychology of these exact phrases, which you don't have to say it the exact way that I do. However, I'm giving you mine, so this way you can model it. I'm giving you also my thinking behind it, so you then can see what points are important and then decide how to then, of course, make it your own. So here's part 1. As soon as we connect, I'll ask you some questions so that I can have a clear understanding of exactly what you'd like to achieve. Remember earlier I said that this also helps you to, not have your consultations derail and then suddenly talk for like 3 times the length that you expected, and then that person never becomes your client? What am I doing here with this first statement about I'll ask you some questions? I am laying the foundation for how the consultation is going to work, and also why I'm doing that. I'll ask you questions so I can have a clear understanding of exactly what you'd like to achieve. I like to put this first statement into a magical category that I've titled, duh, as in, what else would I do? That makes sense. But it's establishing, here's what the first part of this consult is. I'm going to ask you questions. The next statement establishes, the second part. Then I'll explain exactly what I do, how it works, and why it works so quickly to help you to whatever the outcome is. Actually, you'll see this in the cheat sheet when you download it, that I just have the word outcome in brackets. And it's because, if you're doing a video on social media about why hypnosis is effective to help people to quit smoking, you're not going to say why it works to help you to make this change. No, literally spell it out. Why it works so quickly to help you to stop smoking. Why it works so quickly to help you to stop chasing cars, to feel more confident in your public speaking, to, again, insert the outcome here, let it be specific. Now, there's something magical inside of this second phrase. I'll say it again, maybe you'll catch it. I'll explain exactly what I do, how it works, and why it works so quickly to help you to speak with confidence and let go of that fear. I changed the measurements. I am completely stepping out of the narrative of hypnosis works. And a lot of you love to use that in your marketing and promotion. And you have full license and full ability to run your businesses and say whatever you want to say. Here's why I hate that. First of all, name any other industry that likes to, boast, hey, what we do works. Electricity works. Painting works. They don't. No. So why do so many of you feel the need to do that? So I instead shift the narrative to not be, did it work? Yes or no, binary, 1 or 0. Instead, my exact phrase was why it works so quickly to help you outcome. And by the way, a little thing on that too. Quickly is a relative comparison. The fact that maybe here's a person, I'm thinking of a specific client right now that had a lot of issues with just feeling safe in a new relationship because of old experiences. And we got a massive amount of the change in motion the first time that we met. We then continued to work for an additional, I believe, with her, like 5 more sessions because she was seeing value, she was seeing benefit, not just in that one original issue that came to me for, but also for other parts of her life. So 6 sessions, is that quickly? Well, compared to the, what was it, I believe, like 12 or 13 years the problem had been around, because it was kind of stemming from previous experiences, 6 weeks of appointments versus 12 years of an issue, all things are relative. That's quickly. So rather than saying, I'll show you how it works and why it works, I instead say why it works so quickly. I have just changed the measurement within your brain. It's subtle. It's powerful. I've tested it. Just this one worked better. Use it if you choose. That's the second part. The third phrase, and then only if I'm confident that I can help you out, I'll explain exactly how you can get started. What have I done here? I've established the 3 steps. 1, I'm going to ask you questions. 2, I'm going to explain what I do. And 3rd, if I'm confident that I can help you, then I'll explain how we can get started. I am now bonding the fact that when we get to that consultation, when we get there, only if I am confident that I am certain I can help you, only if that's true, will I then say, here's the program, here's the number of sessions and the price, here's how to pay me. I have now connected the offer to my internal confidence and certainty that I can actually help you out. Which, by the way, for any of you out there who have ever felt cautious, timid, fearful about doing the transitional step and going, hey, do you want to pay me now for this? Use this language, because what have I done? It bonds it. And just transparency and honesty here, there are moments where I don't accept clients. So if I'm not confident that I can help them out, I don't explain how they can get started with me. Very simple. So I just said a whole lot of words and gave you a bunch of explanation for something that probably takes about 15 or so seconds. But it's where in the content that I create, any of the front-facing promotional material, this is the way that I'm going to deliver the call to action. I'll give it to you one more time. As soon as we connect, I'll ask you some questions so that I can have a clear understanding of exactly what you'd like to achieve. Then from there, I'll explain exactly what I do, how it works, and why it works so quickly to help you to stop smoking. And then only if I'm confident that I can help you out, I'll explain exactly how you can get started. I look forward to speaking and working with you soon. Now hold on. This is the double 3-act formula. I just gave you the first half. The second half comes when now you're actually in the consultation with them. And this applies whether you do the consultation in person or over a phone call, over Zoom. Where it occurs doesn't matter. But here's a quick little anecdote, by the way, as to where I really learned the value of this. It's that just by default, I was doing this already. This is not a technique that I invented because I thought it'd be cool. This is something that was then modeled out of what I was already doing inside of my business and kind of unpacking, well, why is this working so well? It's where I hopped onto a call with somebody. They scheduled a time to speak with me. And as soon as I got on the call, I did the 3-act formula again. I said it this way. Now, the way that this conversation obviously works is that I'll ask you some questions so that I can have a clear understanding of exactly what you'd like to achieve. Then I'll explain exactly what I do, how it works, and why it works so quickly to help you to overcome this fear of driving on highways. And then only if I'm confident that I can help you out, then I'll explain exactly how you can get started. Sound good? And what she said next was magical. She immediately, and yes, her issue was driving on highways. What she said next was, oh, no need. I'm ready to book with you right now. And I had to go, wait, what? She goes, no, I've called up 3 other people in the area and none of them established any bit of authority or clarity on the calls. One of them was like, okay, well, we do 3 sessions is this price. And she goes, the call was over in 30 seconds. And it's not that she wasn't willing to spend that money. It was that instead, that person hadn't really established rapport, value, or even gave any hint that they wanted to hear what it was she wanted to work on. It was just nuts and bolts. Here's the price. You in? Another person, and this is a classic story that finally happened to me. She calls up and it was the, yeah, what do you want? is this the hypnotist? Yeah? She's like, I felt like I had to drive the call. She goes, with what you just said to me, I'm ready to work with you right now. Let's do this. I'm like, oh, can I still ask the questions? Because like, this is what I need so that I know I can actually help you out. She goes, yeah, go ahead. It's already a yes, though. I'm like, okay. And I still ran my process because I legitimately needed the answers. And then I go, okay, so here's the pricing. Here's the structure. You in? She goes, yeah, charge the card. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to work so hard. Hey, look at that. Pre-sold. So here's the benefit of it. I'm going to run the 3-formula process again. And the benefit of it now is that it's reiterating the story. It's running a familiar pattern within their mind. One, it's refreshing exactly what we're about to do, but also it's now serving as the benefit of the fact that, well, we all know that Starbucks sells coffee, and yet they keep reminding us that they sell coffee. We know that stores like Walmart or Target or even online providers like Amazon, they sell things at low prices. And yet they keep reminding us that they do that. So the more that we can have them running the mental rehearsal within their mind, the more that they're already prepared to hear it and putting themselves into the journey here. So what it's doing here is it's establishing that benefit of a bit of compounding, setting the frame, but also now road mapping exactly how this conversation is going to go. Now, the way that this obviously works is that I'm going to ask you some questions so that I can have a clear understanding of exactly what it is you'd like to achieve. Then I'll explain how this works, why it works so quickly to help you to insert outcome here. And then only if I'm confident that I can help you out, I'll explain exactly how we can get started. Sound good? And I'm saying sound good or make sense or something of that nature there. That's really interchangeable there because of 2 simple reasons. One, I want the checkpoint that they understand the roadmap of the conversation we're about to have. But also, 2, remember the unofficial title of this? Duh. What else would we do? But the benefit is now I am reiterating the pattern that they've already heard. They are placing themselves inside of the journey, and I have set the foundation in place for a positive conversation where I'm going to get the information that I need. They're going to get the information that they need. And again, the magic icing on the cake here is that I am only then going, here's the program, here's the price, when it's bonded to the fact that I am confident that I can help them out. Put this to use. This is a simple little nuance that I have received some phenomenal feedback on over the years, and I've made it easy for you. Go over to worksmarthypnosis.com/460. That'll bring you over to the show notes of this episode. And also on that page, there's going to be a button where you can download the 3-act cheat sheet so you can have this in front of you and make it easier to, well, book consults and get paid. Thank you for listening to the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast with Jason Linett. The more we're all successful, the more we're all successful. I've made that statement for years. It's why I do this show. And here is one thing that you can do today to help do your part. Go to worksmarthypnosis.com/podcast. Go there and make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcast platform. And if you've enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you'd leave a review. Your feedback helps other hypnosis professionals find the show. Subscribe and share your thoughts today at worksmarthypnosis.com/podcast.